Woohoo! Let me get some applause. That's right, goddammit, I'm back. It's Farmer Hodge to God. How you doing? It's weird. I got the teleprompter kind of working now, so I'm gonna be able to look in the camera and make eye contact with all my beloved fans. It's fucking weird. I feel like I'm not really looking at the camera. I'm looking like off like a retard. So I left y'all. You know, life happens. Forgive me, please. But I'm back. I've been meaning to come back for a while now. There's been so much news. But it's overwhelming, you know. Because, like, I've had so much to give my loyal fans as far as insights and pontiffs. I didn't even prepare tonight. I was like, fuck this. This is the opening gamut of me coming back. Okay? Let me see if the buttons work. We got applause. Okay, it's a work in progress. Am I live even? Yeah, I'm live. I normally don't smoke pins, but I just got back from Vegas and I'm trying to expand my smoking horizons. I am a flower person by nature. Okay? But these things are, you know, handy. And this one is a full spectrum by Stizzy with cannabis-based terpenes. Not no fucking lemon terpenes. The limonene or lemon, whatever the fuck it's called from this. This is from cannabis. Now, my man Doc Kamala had talked about doing a show. Where's this nigga at? We're gonna do a show. So I have an announcement. Can I hear that? Where the sound goes for the fucking window, sound level, sound effects. Okay, I'm relearning how to use this shit. So forgive me. I haven't done it in forever. You know what happened was I went to Puerto Rico for 2 months back in January. And then I never did the show. Well, I need an edible so I can go to sleep. Oh, so guess what? Random thought. Oh, I have a random thought button. I don't know if I went. Hold on. Where are my random thoughts? God damn it. Nope. No random thoughts today. Is this music? I was the first one, hence the show I said it first, to talk about Bill Maher progression to being a right winger. Now everybody's talking about it. So if anybody, I got these fucking gnats somehow. Does anybody have a gnat problem? Like, where the fuck are they coming from? Like, what are they eating? I cleaned up, but I still got the gnats. So yeah, people were talking about Bill Maher he's just unwatchable now. It's not that, like, I think Joe Rogan's kind of right winger, but he's likable. Versus Bill Maher, you want to punch him in the nose. And he first like got him sideways, pause. A few years back. a few years back, when he got on his anti-Muslim shit. He did that for like 2 years and he kind of let it go. and it got to be kind of watchable again. And now he's on this like white man angst shit, like white reactionary, like woe is me for the white man. And I just cannot stomach a rich white man with the platform complaining about a theoretical deplatforming. Nigga, you're rich, you're not that funny. And I always liked him as an insightful person, but never as a comedian. Like nobody's ever named Bill Maher as a top 5 comedian on anybody's list. So you're not that funny, and you come from the roots of the left wing, but now all of a sudden you've latched on to this cancel culture, um, topic that seems to be a never-ending, feeder. It's like ad nauseum, another example of poor white folks. Like nigga, get off of that shit. It's boring. Segue to Dave Chappelle. I love the first half of his special because it made people. As I'm laughing, I'm like, this shit was so timely. And because we live in these cultural these cultural divisive times, right, where people are picking sides based on whatever the fuck it is that you pick your sides with. You either love Dave Chappelle's special or you hate it, right? Okay, note to self, I will not say right more than I said it once. I give myself 3 rights and that's it. Okay? But the second half just wasn't that funny. But I never want to. No, the last third. The first 2/3 were hilarious. But the last third was like, okay, am I in a seminar? Nigga, where are the jokes? Like, you could talk all this. Like, first of all, I don't give a fuck about the gender debate. Let's just leave it at that. I just don't have a dog in the fight. I'm too old to fucking care. Whatever the kids got to do, like when I say I'm too old, like not that I'm on one side, I legitimately do not care because it doesn't affect me. But there were some good jokes in there. But then the last third was like Oprah. Okay. But so what's going on? What's been going on in y'all life? I need some comments. So in my life, as most of you know who are loyal fans, I am a cannabis entrepreneur. My company and I competed for what's called a vertical license here in the great state of New Jersey. Now, vertical license is, the big boy license. It allows you to grow marijuana, aka cannabis, manufacture, aka make pretty little concepts like this and all of the sorts of consumable marijuana, deliver marijuana, distribute marijuana, and have a dispensary and consumption lounge. So it was a big fucking deal. Now, the topic that I want to share with you in the age of, wokeism and leftism and stop Asian hate and transgender and all this shit, right? Is we're not all on the same side. When I'm talking about, hold on, let me stop the dishwasher. Can y'all hear that? When I'm talking about a set aside, call it what you want, diversity, inclusion, social justice, social equity, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? Minority don't mean shit to me. And the experience of a black man and an Asian woman are not the fucking same. Particularly, we're talking about the war on drugs. So it makes my blood get hot when in the great state of New Jersey, the organization charged with grading, scoring, and delivering licenses is bragging about the diversity of the 2019 RFA rounds when no black people won. You know, black people, particularly black men. Let's bring gender into the equation. A black man was the one getting harassed by the police, the one getting killed and thrown in jail, the one successfully delivering you product generation after generation, year after year, minute after minute, despite its illegality, despite the opposition from all of government forces, police, wardens, DAs, mayors. Black and brown men were able and qualified and skillful enough to grow a product that had medicinal values and recreational values, distribute them, deliver them, have reasonable prices, and operated at margins successful enough to maintain that operation year over year despite setbacks, supply setbacks, incarceration setbacks. Now, those same black and brown men are somehow now under or non qualified to get a license. They may hopefully beg themselves into a equity license. So forgive me for my cynicism, but I see the whole social equity movement as a ghettoization and a bastardization of talent in the guise of help. And it almost makes you want to become a right winger. Because the right wing thing has always been, look, not like the Trump right wing. I'm talking about like William Buckley, Ayn Rand and shit, right? Which was, governments should not have anything to do with the markets because they skew they essentially, if you want to get to the meta level of a libertarian, Milt Freeman, Ayn Rand kind of worldview, it's that the government should have anything to do with the market because it's going to skew it one way or the other and basically pick favorites. The flip side of that, the Keynesian argument is that, well, that's all, or the Marx argument is that's all bullshit because meritocracy becomes basically plutocracy and nepotism. After 3 or 4 iterations of meritocracy, it's George Bush's son becomes president, right? This is on repeat. And then both those arguments have merit, but going through this process, when it comes to specifically cannabis legislation and legalization, it's like KRS-One talking about with rap. Anybody can say rhyme. Here's where the problem starts, no heart. Because of that, a lot of groups fell apart. When it comes to growing cannabis, you can grow cannabis. It's a plant. You could sell it. That's a retail operation. You can make production / manufacture products. That's cooking. Like if you can get your man in the kitchen, you could probably process / manufacture marijuana. If you can keep your basil plant alive by the windowsill in your kitchen, you could probably grow weed. But suddenly, after 100 plus years in America of successfully maintaining all different size cannabis operations, back when it was called weed, you're now unqualified. So in New Jersey, for the 2019 RFA, for those that aren't aware of New Jersey, applicants from that round had to wait 2 years, not one, not two, for an announcement of whether or not they won while maintaining what we call site control. So you had to pay rent for 2 years waiting for an answer. And in the interim, the 2 years, a lot of focus and emphasis was placed on what we're calling social equity. Now, in most places, and this includes Jersey, when they talk about, I'm also, in addition to a cannabis entrepreneur, I'm also an IT entrepreneur, contractor. So I deal with large companies and I deal with their procurement offices, and they have targets for diversity and inclusion. Not once have I ever heard a large private institution or any public institution differentiate amongst betwixt and between the various categories of diversity. So while I will not deny that women have had a more challenging experience in general than men, I will not concede that white women have had a more challenging experience than a black man. So why is it that when it comes to any sort of contracting interaction, be it private or public industry, lawmakers, legislators, regular lawmakers, legislators, though those are both the same. So lawmakers and regulators, why cannot you distinguish and identify those groups separately and target your targets, set asides, whatever the nomenclature is of the day, whatever passes muster? Why can't we say for cannabis, for the marijuana, weed, the drug war, when we seek to create set asides or diversity targets, should they not be somehow tied to those harmed by the drug war? Now, I'm a veteran, served my country, thank me for my service. Thank you, you're welcome. But as a veteran, I don't care if I'm specifically targeted for licensing in the cannabis space, because as far as I'm aware, veterans weren't specifically targeted for incarceration when it comes to marijuana. Women specifically were less targeted than men in the drug war for all different categories of drugs. So what I'm saying is, strip away all other attributes: race, economics, location, circumstance, whatever. If you have a male and a female, when it comes to a police or potential police interaction over drug distribution or usage, if you are a man, you are exponentially more vulnerable than a woman. So that begs the question, why is it then that a woman, or being a woman, would give you an advantage over being a man, all other things being equal, for acceptance, awarding of a particular government contract or private contract? Let's go a step deeper. Now, in the state of New Jersey, the law that was passed targeted a 15%, I'm going to call it set aside, I don't know if that's the word they use, for minority. What is a minority? Anybody but white. So you can be from Indonesia, Pakistan, Iran, the Philippines, China, Tokyo, which is Japan, Israel, Spain. Well, not Spain. Well, not Israel either. Well, depends if you're Orthodox or not. Orthodox counts. Whatever the fuck. Africa, America, black, Spanish, you are a minority. So you got women, that's 50% of the population. Then you got minority. So that's anything but white, plus veteran, plus LGBTQ. Now add those up. What we're like at what percent? So say it a different way. When you add all those categories into your social equity targets, you could save some ink and just say anybody but a white man, unless that white man is a veteran or gay. So half. So why even have it? Social equity is a joke. And then there's these blackface caricatures. And these specific, I'm more familiar with the cannabis space, but I'm sure the same people exist across all industry verticals. They get invited to all the events, who speak on stage eloquently about the need for inclusion and blah, 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 blah. These niggas is sellouts. They company men. They look for their own advantage and access. They're outraged pimps, poverty pimping. I don't want no fucking social equity. I want equity. I'll say it again. I don't want your fucking social equity. I want equity. Give me the bank and I will dole out rewards to my people without the government or quasi-government or anybody else, influence or otherwise, encouraging or directing me on what I need to do for my people. I am a king and a leader, as are many others. Equity. Give us the motherfucking licenses. Okay? We don't need help. We need less obstacles. Now, I'm not going to go too far into specifics, but let's just say the scoring in the state of New Jersey left a lot to be desired. Okay, but what I like to say and seek out in life, when handed lemons or when you're handed a cloudy day, you look for that vibranium lining. So that last round, which we lost the vertical license, that was for medical cannabis vertical. So it's all the different, stovepipes or horizontals rolled to one vertical, or different verticals into a mega vertical. But it was limited to 30,000 square feet of canopy space. Canopy space being defined as your production, area where you're growing flower, the part under the lights, right? Didn't win that. The recipients of those awards have to be in business for a year in the medical space and maintain enough supply to serve their medical patients, as well as, or before they even deal with the recreational market. So now, after reevaluated my application, made my team even stronger, I'm competing in the next round for adult use, recreational. And I'm going for a tier 6 license, which is 150,000 square feet. Okay. And manufacturer license. Can't do dispensary because you can't combine those three categories in one. Anyway, long story short, I'm going to win. I'm manifesting that. I got a strong team, got money, and we're going to run it back. Even bigger and better than before. Segue. Quick little aside. So tonight, My white buddy, I do have white friends. I have three, to be precise. But see, for white people to be friends with me, like they gotta have some thick motherfucking skin. Okay? Like you gotta like all people who are cool with me are white have to like say a pledge. The white man is the devil. Do some real Hebrew Israelite shit. You got kiss boots, all kinds of shit. I digress. I'm not telling the truth, but understand that Haji Allah to God don't have a code switch. I don't switch codes. So if you see a white person around me acting cool, trust and believe they done heard that the white man is the devil. They done heard me say nigga all the time. Okay? Because I'm not a nigga. But I do say the word a lot. And I'm not gonna edit and moderate and modulate how I use the word because some goddamn white people around. Okay? What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So segue. My white homie, Mike, got stood up by this broad. Now I live in this lovely little town called Red Bank in New Jersey. And that's another digression. Like black folks, like we need to just take over little towns. Like Red Bank is perfect, but ain't no niggas in it. Right? All the niggas live black niggas. There's white niggas, but the black niggas live on the other side of town. Although that side's gonna come up now too. They getting pushed out of there too. But you got a river. That's the thing about towns. See, towns like little ecosystems, like in nature. I'm really getting into design, like designing of systems. Right? I'm a coder by nature, where I was more before focused on just the code and the methods. Now I'm more looking at code as an organism, right? And how can you, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, Not abstract this. What's the word I'm looking for? When you make something abstract, something a size. But you know what I'm saying? Oh, fuck. You make it an abstract concept, right? So when you think about building an app, right? It's a project. You're developing a system. Well, you can write code for a city, right? Develop the system. Think about it as all these interlocking parts that gotta move in some synergistic level for proper functioning, right? And when you think about a town, what makes a town thrive? Like upperly mobile towns that people are just, you know, dying to get into and paying a premium for a house in that neighborhood because of that school. What is it about those towns? Well, it starts with good schools. Good schools give you the age range of late 20s to late 30s, early 40s young parents, upperly mobile young parents. Because young parents who are not, who are downwardly mobile are parents like in their early 20s. But upperly mobile is like late 20s to early 40s. You begin parenthood and you seek the right sort of nest for this young chickling you're about to bring into the world. So, good schools is uh, a primary fork in the wheel. It's a primary gravitational force to create a town. All right. And then I think it's walkability. Here in Red Bank, you can walk. You can, in one, human powered trip in about an hour's time, you could go grocery shopping, go to the post office, drop off your library book, uh, walk into Y, pick up your kid after camp, uh, swing by a city hall and pay that traffic bill or whatever the fuck it is, and then uh, go back home, grab your fishing rod, walk down to the river and go fishing, come back home within an hour and a half's time. Right? So I think what makes towns successful is good schools, walkability. I think you need a nice mix of functional and fun. So functional. Like I said, the courthouse, the library, the Y, grocery store. Fun, restaurants, bars, hobby slash craft. So in my town, we have a arcade. There's like 3 or 4 places where broads go do like pottery and shit, or with the kids, whatever. Got 3 or 4 motherfucking coffee shops, or 5 or 6 coffee shops. 3 or 4, 2 or 3 paint and pours. A gang of bars. I probably said bars. Hair salon, all kind of little shit, and a lot of financial planning, like Merrill Lynch and all these motherfuckers in shopping. They got Tiffany's, all this kind of shit. So my point is, black people need to just have secret ass meetings and look, you go and buy a house, but instead of spreading us out, let's go pick a little town. And you don't need to be the absolute majority or singularity. Go to any town and get 30% and vote as a block. You will run the school board, city council, and the police department. Strategize. Segue alert. What's wrong with this fucking thing? Segue alert. Let's talk about the Lakers and the Nets. This is almost say, I'm not worried. Sure, the Lakers have not got off to a great start. Okay, but I'm here to say it right now. Golden State, Utah, I'm not tripping off of them. Denver, I'm not tripping off of them. Phoenix, I'm not tripping off of them. Who else? Who else is in the West? I'm not tripping. Here's what I do know. Despite Russell Westbrook, which is a name I cannot say. Is there an H in there? If this was, what's that game with Alex Trebek? Wheel of Fortune, I would ask for an H. If they said the name out loud. But Russell Westbrook is a polarizing figure. He is not an efficient player. And I know the women out there are really impressed. You're like, this nigga is so philosophical, yet he can still talk about sports. That's right. That's what I do. How long have I been talking for? I've really been talking that long? 43 minutes? Look, I'm not even going to promise that I'm going to come out every day. Although I might. I got a lot of shit I want to talk about. Okay, Russell Westbrook. Yeah, he is a work in progress. He is a hard person to be a fan of because he will frustrate you. However, this is what I know. I don't know why he's getting stuck like that. The Lakers would have, I don't think they would have won the chip, but they would have went. Because Phoenix went. Phoenix was not better than the Lakers last year. And everybody knows it, including Phoenix. Do y'all remember? I'm old enough to remember when the Lakers was clowning Phoenix. Remember LeBron and them was playing around and who's that big monkey? He had goofy hands. Oh, I forgot his name. The center we got off for waivers, or what the fuck it's called, buyout market. Andre Drummond. Remember they was out there. Then AD got hurt, and then we ended up getting swept out of there. Now, I know this. Russell Westbrook is and always will be better than Dennis Schroeder. And if not for AD's injury, we would have beat Phoenix, Denver, and whoever the fuck else showed up, and we'd have made it to the finals. Now, I don't know if we would have beat Milwaukee with that team from last year, okay? But we would have beat Phoenix. And Phoenix, who beat us after AD got hurt, made it to the finals, okay? So this year, we lost Schroeder, gained Russell Westbrook. I say that's a huge win. We lost Kyle Kuzma, picked up Trevor Ariza and Carmelo Anthony. I say that's a big win. We lost Montrezl Harrell and picked up Dwight Howard and Deontay Jordan. I like Harrell. I think you lose offensively, but you gain defensively. We lose Alex Caruso. We pick up Hillbilly Kobe, and let's throw in A.B. Bradley's back. I'd rather have a Caruso, so I'll say that's a little loss. Not great loss, but a little loss. And finally, we lose KCP and pick up Rondo, Malik Monk, Wayne Ellington. Oh, and we pick up Kent Bazemore. You know what? I say a wash at best. Maybe even better with the current iteration. So, despite the rocky start, I guarantee heading into the playoffs, as long as we don't have an injury to one of our core 3 or 4 guys, we are going to make it to the finals. Now, conversely, it seems like a fucking pattern here. Every year, NBA experts are like little schoolgirls looking for the next hot thing. Remember a couple seasons ago, it was the Clippers, right? The Clippers didn't make out the second round, and the Lakers won the championship. Then last year, it was the Nets. The Nets lose to Milwaukee. This year, again, it's the Nets because now they're saying, oh, well, now everybody's back, blah, blah, blah. It's definitely the Nets. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not the Nets. It's Miami or Milwaukee in the East, and it's the Lakers in the West. And that's it. Those are the only 3 teams who have a shot at winning the chip. You can guarantee it. One more. Oh, yeah, one more thing. So tonight, because I was talking about Red Bank earlier. Oh, yeah. Oh, and art. So we happen to be blessed with, I'm going back to what makes a cool town. We happen to be blessed here at Red Bank with not one, but 2 theaters. The Count Basie and the 2 River. Now my man, fat man, white boy Mike, got stood up by this broad. He was taking this broad to a Steely Dan concert at the Count Basie Theater. Now, I don't know who the fuck Steely Dan is. He's like, man, you want to come, man? Because his bro stood me up. I was like, no, but I'll go. I went, and there was some little groove. It had a few grooves. It was like white boy funk, kind of like an average white band or whatever kind of shit. Some of the songs I actually knew was like I remember like, Ricky, don't lose that number. Just a and what's the other one? Fuck, I forgot. Damn it, I forgot. But I wouldn't be going to that motherfucker just because. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be just a nigga at a Steve Dan concert. Okay, this wouldn't be my bag, you know. So a trip. You ever see a nigga out of place and he look all guilty when you catch him? Like I know why I was that motherfucker. Cause this honky invited me. And then I was like, hold on. I see this nigga. I was like, hey, I know you. I'm not gonna say his name, but that's one square ass, bougie ass nigga. When you see a nigga at a Steely Dan concert, like by himself, first of all, who in the fuck goes to a concert by themselves? I'm not talking about like a bar where it's a live band. I'm talking about it was a concert, like 3,000 people in the audience. This nigga went by himself, and he black at a Steely Dan concert in Red Bank. Thank me for my service. All right, y'all. Um, I spoke for 51, almost 2 minutes. I'm high. I'm cottonmouth. You're welcome. Um, I'll be back maybe tomorrow, maybe not. We're not gonna worry about that. All we're gonna do is appreciate life and all these gems and the I said of firstisms. I'm Brigham. It's the God, Farmer Hodge. P.